Tayshia hates him.
Yeah, and she's so out of his league. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking episode. Brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
You're excited, aren't you?
I love Paradise.
Paradise is a lot of fucking fun. We're so excited. Pat's behind the glass.
Hi, guys. Hey, Nick, I'm going to agree with you. It is a lot of fun, but 2 nights a week is too much.
It's too much. The mouse is getting greedy. And you know what? I was talking to a coworker about this. Why don't they space it out? It's because they want to capture summer. They want to capture summer. They want to inject these last weeks of summer with Bachelor in Paradise, because it doesn't make sense if we're in Halloween and we're watching Bachelor in Paradise. It doesn't make sense.
And also their shitty fall lineup with some sitcom that ends in ish will be starting in the fall.
Oh,
Blackish, mixed-ish.
I thought you were talking about Asian-ish. Okay.
I'm not surprised. That's next. Almost guarantee it.
Easy.
And it'll star Anthony Anderson.
Take it easy there, you fucking Garrett Whirl, you fucking alt-right psycho.
It sounds racist. I hate network television, is what I'm saying.
You hate diversity. That's what you hate.
That's not true.
All right, so summer is here.
That wasn't my point at all.
I'm joking with you. Take it easy.
That wasn't my point. I hate network television.
Summer is here, Chris Shitface Harrison says. What am I doing? We've got to talk about general thoughts. Immediately, we've got to talk about general thoughts. Pat.
All right, we're just reviewing the episode as a standalone episode, not part 2.
How could you ask for a clarification? We've done this 1,000 times.
Okay.
You should explain that to the audience, too.
General thoughts?
Our schedule tonight.
Oh, our schedule tonight. Nick, why don't you tell them about our recording schedule?
Well, we're talking to you on a Tuesday night. We have yet to see the second episode of Bachelor in Paradise. Mm-hmm. We all watched the first. We're going to record about that, watch the second episode together, and then hop back in the studio and record and leave here about 3 a.m.
It's going to be a wild fucking ride, and Wednesday's going to be ruined. And we all have work to do. Oh,
by the way, I'm glad you guys cleared all that up, because I want this to be known to the audience that will listen to this episode.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about Blake. I don't know where this is going to go. The first episode makes him look like a complete jerk and a womanizer, but who knows what will unfold in episode 2.
Well, I'm not worried about it, because I think that is an objective truth, regardless of what happens in the second episode. But we have disagreements about that. We'll get to it later. Guys, general thoughts. Let's do it now. Patrick.
I thought it was a really fun episode. This is a fun show. I will say there's some people on this show that they have here. Chris being one of the old guys, and I don't want to be an ageist. I don't know why he's here. It seems like they could have done a little better casting, but who knows? It's just the first episode. New people will be coming in.
Nick?
In my general thoughts, I'd like to address Patrick's question of why those people are here. Mm-hmm. They're what I call, appropriately, 'cause Paradise, low-hanging fruit.
The front lines. Lambs to the slaughter.
They are there, so when someone who needs to say, because they are good television, doesn't have a partner yet, they can pick this Chris Bukowski character. Any woman at any time could offer him a rose, and he'd be more than glad to.
They're
accept.
Lifelines.
Yeah,
they're lifelines.
Exactly, and they serve a purpose, much like the elderly.
My general thoughts are, I love Bachelor in Paradise because the stakes are so low, and they acknowledge that. The thing about The Bachelor and Bachelorette, which is frustrating, they pretend like it's this quest for true romance, and it's just the most pathetic thing that human beings have ever created. Why don't you just acknowledge that? So let's get into the episode. Summer is here, Chris Shitface says. It's funny because it's been here for 2 months or something, but that's neither here nor there. We begin on the island of Mexico, or as Bachelor Nation calls it, Paradise, baby. Well, they don't call it Paradise, baby. They just call it Paradise.
Some call it Paradise, baby, me being one of them.
So we've got Tayshia up first. She's rolling her R's, and she's trying to hurt cameramen. She's just throwing balls at cameramen. It's very, very unsafe. Did she have a conversation with her father at the top here?
She absolutely did, Dylan.
Yeah.
And what I thought was notable about this conversation with the father was the promise she made at the end that was capped by a pinky swear, which I noted at the time would soon be broken.
You were 100% right.
She pinky swore there'd be no shenanigans.
Oh, I thought she promised that she wouldn't wear. She'd wear a turtleneck
Two
during
promises. What?
She agreed. I think what he meant by shenanigans was oral, but she did just.
I don't think so.
She didn't pinky swear that she would wear a turtleneck.
Great minds thinking alike. I have it later on in my notes of the Blake date. I mean, what's the value of a pinky swear if you're going to hop in a two-piece and just start smooching with Blake Squarehead? It doesn't make any sense. All right, let's get to Blake Squarehead. Remember when he got dumped by Becca? Mm-hmm. God, I miss those days when he was just heartbroken. I loved when he was down in the dumps, and I hate when he's Mount Olympus highs because he's a gross human being, I think.
He hadn't cried like that since people were massacred at his high school.
Oh, wow. Good callback. Very timely, too. Pat, any thoughts on Blake?
Yeah, I agree with you, Dylan. I'm shocked by this, as I always am. 2 seasons ago, it was Deanie Baby that was the person of the hour that all the ladies had their eye on. I am shocked at this man. Blake, to me, is a complete puss bag. I would have never seen he would have the eyes of affection for multiple
What's the
women.
definition of a puss bag?
A guy who speaks like a wimp.
Okay.
He has
Love
a dad
that word.
bod.
Yeah.
Unsure of himself, but he has some kind of uncomfortable confidence in this episode because he's unfamiliar. This is unfamiliar territory, holding this much power, and he will abuse it, as we've heard he has.
You brought that up, Nia, 30 minutes ago.
But I just want to say, you'll have to excuse Dylan. I felt like all of that was implied when you said puss bag.
I'm sorry.
We didn't need it spelt out.
Hey,
for
maybe
us.
it's for the listeners. Maybe it's not for me. You ever think about that, Jack?
Oh, okay. I think everybody knows what puss bag is.
Okay.
But I echo his sentiments. Why is he the hot item?
Hot commodity.
They're very confusing.
It doesn't make any sense, and it's hive mind thinking. All of a sudden, you want I want Bitcoin. No, you're an idiot.
Yeah, don't get in at 17.2 because it will plummet to $4,000.
Blake is Bitcoin at 20K right now.
Yeah. Bitcoin's at 20K right now?
No, that was like its peak before the
Jesus
crash.
Late 2016, early 2017.
Yeah. That's like when everybody was starting to talk to their family about it.
I'm such an idiot. I was talking to my dad about it. I was like, people are naysayers, but they don't understand it's the future.
It doesn't make sense.
Jesus Christ. Do not get into fucking blockchain right now. That is not what this podcast is about.
The point is it's gambling.
Okay.
Just bet on fights like me.
All right. So next up, we've got Katie. What was this green screen snooping thing?
Well, she's an inspector now, sniffing out the competitors.
Oh, God, it was so awful.
It was a callback to her and Demi showed up to help out Hannah Brown in the beginning.
Do you think so?
I 100% think so.
Okay.
They were in a surveillance van, but I am starting to think she's taking it too far. Her setup looked a little like John Nash in A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
I'm starting
Very concerning.
I'm starting to get worried that she thinks Ed Harris has sent her to Bachelor in Paradise to as a matter of national security.
I was also concerned about that. I'm surprised you brought that up. Another thing I was concerned about, she's got this corkboard thing going with the string. It's like a lot like, who's the one with the shaky lip on Homeland?
That show's overrated. I don't even know.
The first 2 seasons were pretty good.
By the way, wasn't he just referring to that beautiful mind wall, and then she's got this cork board?
My corkboard example wasn't good enough for him. Oh, here's a third corkboard example.
Right,
Charlie, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Jesus
He has a big corkboard.
Anyway, she's got Tyler Chill on that cork.
Oh, I caught that!
Yeah, to quote the late Steven Tyler, dream on.
May I offer a little behind the curtain? The lights.
Steven Tyler's not dead. I thought that was going to shock Pat. That's why I wrote it.
He should be. Tyler Chill is on that board because this was shot 2 months ago.
Good. That's a hot take.
And we didn't know where Tyler Chill would be now, having sex with international models.
Yep.
Okay.
Fucking look out for a grease fire.
I didn't catch it that Tyler was on it.
Yeah, he was.
That's awesome.
He was. Next up, we've got Cam, who needs to go away forever. Also, How did they get those 16 people to his performance?
Oh, his little rap bit?
Yeah, his little rap bit. How did those people say yes to that?
That's called a PA's big break, all right? That's someone working for The Bachelor getting paid $15 an hour. Like, you want to stand in, and they're fucking stoked. They're like, this is it.
Right.
This is it. I'm Hollywood, baby.
I have buddies that come to my improv jams. They can just come to this.
I think that's a different way they might cattle call people. I was saying PAs, like people who actually work on the show, carrying stuff around.
Right, but those PAs also do improv.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Every PA goes to UCB. Everybody knows that.
All right, so this bit sucks, and I'm starting to think, could this guy be a Tom Green-like kind of comic? Because either that or he's absolutely insane, and I'm scared for him.
I'm insulted on Tom Green's behalf.
Oh, well, then I take it back. I apologize to both of you.
All right, let's move on to Jane. So I know they were joking about the hot sauce stuff, but this is really, really horrifying. The fact, yes, I get it. You don't put that much sriracha on your eggs, but you still ate it. You were still drinking hot sauce.
This seems like bad producing to me because she went home on night 1 of Colton season, so we don't know who she is.
No idea.
She says, I'm anything but plain, as plain Jane, but it would appear that you are, in fact, very plain. This whole bit...
But how, Pat? She's putting so much hot sauce on all of her food.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Actually, that should have fooled my dinosaur brain into thinking, no, she's interesting.
Hillary Clinton tried the same tactic. But yeah, Jane, who are you? I remember her talking too much on the Women Tell All at the time. And
I have no recollection of this woman.
But I think what production was doing here was like, hey, guys... Get ready. Here's your punching bag for the season. This is our comic relief. It's going to be a painful ride for Jane.
I don't even know that you're right. I think she's just going to just wither into the background like fucking dust. Like
you watch. She's going to be made fun of like scallop fingers.
All right, we'll see. Next up, we've got Hannah G. Oh, yeah?
Except I forget that we do have Annaliese there, who is always
the most pathetic human being to grace this stage.
The softest of all soft targets.
All right, we've got Hannah G next. She still looks like a skeleton fairy, and that's all I have written down.
I have, this is what I wrote down, too normal for this show. Get out of here. What are you doing here? She's too normal.
Yeah.
And which means boring.
Yeah, they do have those boring anchors like kind of scattered throughout the cast, and it's not fun. It's no fun. Nobody wants to see it. It's not fun.
She's a distant cousin to that piece of wood, Lauren. They're very wood.
Oh, Lauren's here. But Lauren, what do you think about what Nick just said?
You bitch. You bitch.
Hey, watch your fucking mouth, Lauren. Oh, hey, shut up, kidding. Lauren.
She said she was kidding.
All right, bit's over.
Congratulations on the baby.
So Demi is next. She's in paradise. She sits down with her buddy Hannah Brown and chats with her. They have a very fruitful conversation about the fluidity of sexuality in 2019.
And Hannah Brown's forced to sit there and act like she's okay with it.
I wrote down it was funny to see Hannah vomit up compassion for homosexuality.
Oh, yeah, just do whatever you want.
You are you.
Well, she loves her friend, but also understands that after death, they will never see each other.
Oh, yeah, she'll be in an eternal hellscape, yeah. You know, why can't, the question I was thinking, why can't Hannah be on Paradise? She would be so much fun in Paradise.
Yep. She missed her calling.
Break the fucking conventions. Say no to the mores. Get this girl on this beach.
She shows up later. You didn't see it at the...
They did that last year with
Becca. Contestant.
But she comes back in a more fun way because Becca was all like... She was hubbied up with Garrett, whereas Hannah Brown is a single lady. So like it looked like she had a fun night. I'm not saying she sticks around. I don't think she does.
I don't think she will, but I hope she does. Okay, so next up is Clay. This is a real sad story. This is a real bummer of a story. He tried a couple things after his stint on The Bachelorette. That being a career in the NFL. F- did not work out. And
no shit.
Also,
tale as old as time.
An attempt at love with Angela, which also did not work out.
But I mean, I'm not feeling bad for him there. He sounded like he dumped her.
Sounds like he dumped her.
Sounds like she was some dead weight going into
Either
Paradise.
way, he's one of those boring anchors that's just not fun enough.
I agree. And he's also, it will appear later, who's Angela's friend that talks shit about Clay? Is that Annaliese?
Annaliese.
Okay. She's making him out to be kind of a player and Anna scumbag.
Yeah, he's not. She's just a fucking Mormon.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to unload on Annaliese. She's... I'll get there.
But one more thing about Clay and Angela always seemed like the sweetest girl to me. I actually really liked her.
Trash from Florida, but
I didn't like how Eric Bigger treated her. He said he was all in. You guys remember?
You have an elephant's mind for this show. It's really, really crazy. All right, next up, Nicole. Guys, fun fact about Nicole. If you remember, she's never been to Cuba.
But her heart
is in Havana. She's got to get to Cuba because I don't know if she's walking around with only half a heart.
Another fun fact, I think, and also probably to make up that for that half a heart, she got 2 new fake tits.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really exciting. They're not big.
No, they're more than a handful's just wasted,
Responsible silicone.
Yeah, but they do seem completely unnatural. Watch the tape back. Everybody's going to think I'm crazy.
All right, so next up we've got a fascinating paradox. We've got this guy, Chris, who has the most appearances on this franchise in the show's history.
Right up there with bragging about holding the record for banging the most guys in a gangbang. There are records.
Sorry?
Well, it's sad.
Oh, okay.
It's something you'd brag about at the bar with your friend. I'd like, hey, I hold the record for being on the Bachelor franchise. 5 times I've been on that show.
Well, it's fascinating. It's almost like a magic trick of sorts. He has been on the show more times than anyone, and he's also among the most forgettable people to ever grace the stage. So I'm confused about how you could have this many appearances and be this forgettable.
Exactly. Nick Viles tried it 50 fucking times, but we know his name at least.
Yeah, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers.
I think that
Who are you, Chris?
I think that is a statement on him. Yes, no one cares about you. By the way, I listened back twice to see if I could catch this. Does he own 4 bars or manage 4 bars?
He's probably involved in the restaurant group that's opening up for new restaurants, which is, it's a solid career. I mean, you'd have to land somewhere if you're...
Did they say where?
Was it Chicago?
I don't know. They looked like nice places.
It wasn't an Applebee's. It was definitely looked like a cool bar.
Yeah. Anyways, he has come out of retirement, quote unquote. Pat, I know you love that phrase, because he wants a wife and children. And that's why he's come to paradise.
Well, that's where you come to get that.
Yeah, you go here so that you can have a wife and kids. That's why you come to the island.
Well, you want to get the dream that Evan and Jared got.
Got it. We'll get to that in a second. I love that barometer that is set for everybody. Such high heights.
Oh, yeah. Convenient relationships that are created and sustained on the basis of staying on TV.
Yeah.
You guys scoff, but those 2 ugly people were meant for each other.
Okay, let's get to the island. Blake and Hannah G arrive first. She orders a shot of tequila with no chaser, and I'm wondering where the fuck Wells is. Wells is...
He doesn't work during the day.
He's arguably the biggest success story of the people who have failed in this show. I mean, he's married to Sarah Hyland or engaged to her. Why are they not making more of a deal that Wells is here?
I don't know why he's here. He has no purpose here. He's not funny. He's supposed to be the bartender dispensing love advice.
Well, they needed the bartender, and I think he does give good love advice later on to Dylan, but they needed him to replace the racial stereotype that was the former bartender.
Jorge.
I'm just saying, he has clout. Make more of the fact that he's there.
What a way to prove you're not racist. Give the Mexicans' job to a white guy.
That's very ironic. Very ironic. All right, Katie arrives next. Who cares? Then Dylan arrives. Who cares? Who comes next? They don't say her name, and I really, really needed it. It was the Asian Sydney.
Sydney. She's Asian? That makes sense.
Yeah, a little half, I think.
Does that make why does that make sense?
She's got a weird look.
Okay. Derek comes next. I really don't like this guy. You want to talk about a puss bag? I think I've got the definition of puss bag down. Derek, type A puss bag.
I think you could classify Derek pretty easily as a puss bag. Good job, Dylan. Good job on that one.
PB. Let me say this, because right out of the bag, when Derek shows up, I forget who he's talking to, but they talk about, because Taylor, his ex-fiance, has been in this, graced us with her presence in this studio.
You could say that.
Taylor is a very, very smart lady, and she was fooled by this man. So he is a contender here to be able to manipulate women.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's got this ugly Jim Halpert, nice guy vibe to him. No. Not buying it. I think this guy's a scumbag.
Oh, total scumbag. Did you hear what he said about his last stint in Paradise?
You mean his engagement?
How he spoke about it? He said, well, he's pretty sure all the old memories will be overwritten with new ones. Well, isn't that wonderful?
Lord willing.
All right, so Flirtatia is up next. Derek Likey.
Oh, I like that, Flirtatia.
She called herself that, and I really liked it too. We all did. First time I had heard it, surprisingly.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's a great moniker. Vampire Pig's a better one. So he shows up next, and this is just fascinating. I mean, Chris comments on his physique immediately, which is weird.
Very excited about it.
But then we get to the transformation that he's underwent, and it sounds like he was in jail. It sounds like a psychotic commitment to looking like a pale white boulder.
It's 2 months after he was just seen at television, and everybody who saw him was like, dude, you're looking fucking jacked, man.
It's great. He's like, yeah, you know how I got there? I spent a quarter of my day, half of my waking hours in a gym. That's too much time. He's obviously not reading anything.
How do you all of a sudden overnight create the motivation to become Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
It's really, really disgusting.
But you cannot get rid of that pale skin, hence him being Vampire Pig.
He refers to himself as Dracula. Have I ever been more right?
When he did that, I thought he'd been listening to our show.
Yeah. The Vampire Pig.
All this being said, Kevin seems pretty fucking tight. I like him. He's just a dude. He went a little heavy on the cam shit. We'll get there.
Yeah, he did. Weird. All right. So, this is an example of me not really liking him that much. And also how insane and desperate Katie is. Katie is Annaliese light.
Oh,
she is.
Oh, I like Katie.
I like Katie too. That's why she's light. But she is Annaliese light. She's very desperate, and I just wish she had a little bit more confidence in herself. She's a beautiful young lady. But he comes up to her and he goes, hey, I like the fact that you're wearing a romper. You're really pulling it off. A lot of girls can't pull off a romper because they don't have a good physique, which she classifies as a fantastic first impression.
It's called a backhanded compliment.
It's called negging.
and she also...
Or chauvinistic bullshit. Whatever you want to call it, it's not a great first impression.
I thought it was him being awkward and a really weird compliment. Yeah. And when she followed up, she was like, what do you mean? He stumbled through it. It was an okay answer. But she also started, she was like, yeah, I think I'm in proportion. That was a direct quote. She's like, I'm short, but everything's in proportion, right?
Although
right?
I will have to agree with his overall point, which is, hey, whoever created rompers, light those on fire and throw those in the garbage, like shoulder pads in the 80s for women. You know
what's in now? Mechanic suits are very in, one-piece, suits. It's very high fashion.
For women?
For women. No bullshit. I'm not making this stuff up. I have a wife. She's up with the times. Is that what you say?
I guess so.
So Will's...
That's what really old people say about being current.
She is an old soul. So Will's...
dollars to donuts. That's not that old.
I love that saying.
We just ripped this couple apart, but I'll tell you what. I am shipping Katie and Kevin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I kind of ship them too.
I say K on Katie and Kevin. KKK.
Did you write that down?
No. It's just off the noggin.
Oh. So Wills is up next, an African American. Who cares? Wills he's just so irrelevant.
I have some thoughts on Will. I beat him up a little bit last season when he was on the show.
A little bit?
A little bit. Here's the thing with him. That stupid hair and then that deep affected voice that he has knocks him down 2 points. I think he has a good looking face. And if he talked normal, I like him a lot more. Yeah, he's his own worst enemy.
It's important to have an interesting personality, which he's devoid of. The Stagecoach gets brought up. Now, this is a little tease.
Oh, during festival season?
I love that, Stagecoach is the thing that like they all flock to. Like these are all people of country music. These are all fans of country music, which as I stumble over that line, I know it's ironic for me to say, but I think that the people who flock to Stagecoach, and you may call me a coastal elite, but I think the IQ of that congregation is fairly low.
You were so, I don't know, you have a misconception of Stagecoach. It's Coachella Light. Like it's,
no, it's not.
The
it's
same.
Coachella South.
It's not that. It's not that country. It's the same girls who put on cutoff jean shorts
and wear those fancy hats.
Yeah, but they're going to see Garth Brooks.
But because it's like just like party music. These aren't like country down home people. I'm telling you, the demographic there is not like
it's
let me sell him straight. Let me set him straight.
To see country music.
Hey Dylan, you don't know what you're goddamn talking about. When they refer to this scene as festival season, they're referring to the 2 weeks of Coachella, and in the same goddamn place.
They're talking
yes, they
about
are.
Stagecoach.
No. Stagecoach is 1 week after Coachella in the same goddamn hot-ass valley. All these idiots, I follow them on Instagram, all they do is go there and take pictures and they hook up with each other. This is a thing for Bachelor people, all right?
Right.
So get with it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we can have dissent. You guys can disagree with me. I just think I think dumb people go to Coachella, and I think dumber people go to Stagecoach.
I think this same dumb people go to both.
You might be right.
But I would have a hell of a time at Stagecoach, I think.
Me too. Do you know how much ass I'd pull there?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's
Kill
go
your
there
wife.
next year.
Okay, so let's stop talking about murdering spouses and get to Demi arriving. She's obviously going to be a fan favorite. She's a lightning rod. Or, not even. I mean, America pretty much loves her, except for people who think homosexuality is
Let me say this about Demi. When she arrived, this was my first, it brought me back to high school a little bit. All right, just hear me out on this. Obviously, there's these little units and groups of friends that all hang out with each other and things that happen on this. But this is high school relived. When Demi is like the fun girl that everybody loves and she's cool. And then Cam is obviously the weird loser that none of the guys want to hang out with and they abandon him. And then we got like what would you call that? Like the people that are kind of the ancillary friends that support, anyway, there's a lot of high school.
Orbiters.
Yes, thank you, sir. Nice. There's a lot of high school going on here, and I never realized that's what Bachelor in Paradise kind of represents to a lot of its viewers.
Yeah, it's like a shitty Nat Geo special.
And
it's exactly like that.
And Blake is captain of the football team, and Hannah G is homecoming queen, and they all fill their roles. You're absolutely right. Who were we talking about? Demi. Oh, yeah. She has become so wildly popular, and she just gets to break all the rules. She gets to come in and tell Chris Harrison, yeah, I'm actually in a relationship right now, but I'm going to go down there anyways.
Well, not quite. I mean, she said, it's not.
She is all powerful. Demi is all powerful. She's a demigod.
Can you imagine her?
Oh,
nice. Hey, can you imagine her being the Bachelorette? I'm breaking new ground here. All right. Here's a new idea.
ABC, if you're fucking listening, do this tomorrow.
Yes, and allow her to have 12 guys, 12 girls.
Dude, that is so fucking brilliant. It's like a slightly less bad version of Tequila's show.
Double shot of love.
Right. It's not as trashy.
And then obviously the people on both sides
start hooking up with each other and she has to deal
off.
with that.
Yeah.
That's so fucking incredible.
And groundbreaking and, dare I say, edgy.
And woke.
Dare you say.
And woke.
Dare you say. They have to green light this now.
Do it now.
The mouse has this weird,
his id drives him towards green, though.
But he has a weird debt to the people who just would not.
Will you stop pouring your wine into the mic?
I'm celebrating my idea.
It's a great idea. I just think we're about 4 or 5 years off.
No. She's hot now. They've got to do this now.
I would love it, but I'm telling you, the mouse is beholden to Middle America who would not accept that. They're just not ready.
Cam comes to the island. I fucking hate him so much, but I also kind of sympathize with him. These guys are bitches. They are so catty with him. When he goes and sits down with them and they all get up, how can you do that in good faith? That's so gross.
Unless he's been violent, I cannot, in my mind, I agree with you 100%, legitimize that move. That's kind of a dare I say, a puss bag move. You sit there, make small talk with him, have some drinks, and then don't all get up and walk away at
Act
once.
like a fucking adult.
It's
No
very
more
mean
high
girl.
school. No more high school moments
Very
than
mean
this
girl.
moment. It's insane that they do this, and they're grown men.
Yeah, because it's high school girls that usually do that. Even in high school, guys don't usually act like this. This was weird, and if he is that bad, way to make him a sympathetic figure all of a sudden.
Right.
Like I felt bad for him.
Whether it's guys or girls, it's very, very immature and unbecoming behavior. Continuing with the unbecoming behavior, you talked about hive mind earlier. What is with the criticism of this fucking shirt? I do not get it.
It's absolute insanity. You brought up earlier how I have quite the mind for some of the
Steel
details of the
trap.
show.
Yeah.
Wills himself.
Ugh.
And also, bringing back rompers, wore a leopard-skinned romper last year on
Yes,
Bachelor
he
in
did,
Paradise.
sir.
Go check out our Instagram at another Bachelor.
Take that, Wills. Fuck you.
He mentioned how he sent that actually to Goodwill, and I guess he was serious. But like you said, how can he be throwing stones when he has jesters and cards
And toucans.
and toucans on his same shirt?
They're all wearing these dumb T-shirts that they buy for $63 at Urban Outfitters. Like, who are you to critique someone else's wardrobe? You idiot.
I bought one with boats on it for $32 from Banana Republic.
Yeah.
I got a compliments on it though.
Well, you ran into somebody who had done the same thing earlier that day.
Well, I got compliments besides that, but that did happen.
That was freakish that you ran into somebody with the exact same shirt. I saw an email. I got distracted. I don't know why I have my phone in here. That was unbelievable that I held that ass for that long.
I thought you were looking at your notes.
Okay, so I really quickly before we move on, Dylan, when he's looking at Cam, says Cam's talking to all our girlfriends. What? What?
He got some looks from the other dudes, but I want to say I think he was joking. Because I think
nope.
he's,
I think
he's
you're
gay.
way wrong.
I think he's gay. I'm pretty sure he's gay.
Which one?
The one who looks like a fucking gay. He looks like
Okay. He looks like the guy from Girls. He's my namesake, and he does a tremendous disservice to the Dylan spelt with a Y.
I think we are about 100% on our gaydar in the history of this podcast.
I don't know how you could say that because I don't think anybody's ever actually come out of the closet. I think that we just deem our projections accurate.
Don't tell me Colton's not gay, right? Dylan's gay. We talked about it last season.
Yeah, 100%.
He's gay.
Too
much.
So it's at this point where Cam sits down and talks to Tayshia. We've got a couple examples of people getting ahead of themselves, not unlike Dylan calling the rest of the girls their girlfriends. Cam exemplifies his insanity in this conversation he has with Tayshia.
Let's fast forward and say we have a daughter.
Yeah?
Hey, what's up, Cap?
Well, nothing much, bud.
Now he's interrupted by pig vomit there.
Little vampire pig.
Pig vomit.
It's Kevin, right? Who's Kevin?
Little vampire pig.
All right, so there's two things here. This is when they're on the beach, Cam and Tayshia.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, she is so wait, how do you say out of the league?
Well, just you say it just correctly.
He is so out of her league.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
He is out of her league.
No.
Tayshia's out of Kevin's
She is out of his league.
All right, let me get that again. Tayshia hates him.
Yeah. And
By
she's
that-
so out of his league.
And the other part of this is he's done this. He at least does this 2 times in this episode where he graphs the future on a girl about having children with them.
Yeah.
This is like very amateur stuff, which is he's been told by some other douchebag at a bar or maybe like in therapy or something. Like, if you want a girl like you, what you do is you tell her about the future because women like to see a future.
If you are unable to do this in a humorous way, do not fucking touch this with a 50-foot pole because it is such a turnoff. It's so fucking creepy. It's way too much, way too soon.
Hit us with a clip. Did we play it? We played it?
Jesus Christ.
I was waiting for it
You're
the whole
not
time.
even that high. You're not even that high.
I'm not. We didn't smoke a joint.
Can we? Are you ready to move on, or do you?
The only way it could have been creepier is if he just walked up to her and he was like, I want to impregnate you.
Yeah, that is a creepy thing to say to somebody.
I will. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Nick. Sometimes it works. Did you know famously that Michael Douglas walked up to Catherine Zeta-Jones?
She dips beneath the lasers
at a party, and he said, "I want you to be the mother of my child." That was the first thing he said to her, and they've been together for 20 years. It would have come off gross if you're not Michael Douglas and not very famous.
And look at him now. She's wiping his ass.
That's fucking tight, Michael Douglas.
So Tayshia and Kevin talk after he does this weird kung fu thing where he says, "No, we're not okay. You're my mortal enemy." I don't even remember what happened between them, and I do not care. But Tayshia and Kevin are talking, and she says that she feels like she's in her element, and he's taken aback by that. He's like, "What, at the beach?
You're black."
But Tayshia, you're black." Just thought it was a funny moment. Okay, so next up we've got the goat of the island. That is the purely himself.
Want a whole lot of love.
JPJ. What a fucking torso this young man's got on him. I mean, he looks absolutely incredible. Pat?
This guy is too proud of his body. I don't remember him being all about his pecs and his little body. He's so excited to be here with his goddamn naked body. When did this become part of his character?
I don't know. I mean, if you got it, flaunt it.
I don't think he's actually even all about his body, because Kevin said your body's like natural. Like, that's just, he's active, I think.
Yeah.
That's just how he looks.
Right.
I think he was just showing his free spirit with, it was like almost ingest the Speedo, but he looks so good that, are you cocky or are you not?
No.
But I will say the torso looked amazing. What is this, John Phelps Jones? Michael Phelps. Long torso. It was a reach.
A reach?
John Michael Phelps Jones.
That was a jump across a chasm.
I bet people figured it out.
Okay.
Weigh in.
Michael Phelps is the swimmer.
No, he's... I don't know what I was doing there. Yes, he's the swimmer. Most decorated Olympian of all time.
Probably the only guy who smokes more weed than John Paul Jones.
Absolutely. So Anyeka starts talking to him. She tells him about how well she gets along with others, and then proceeds to say more insane shit.
So the thing about me is, like, I honestly do try to avoid conflict, but if something bothers me, you're going to know it bothers me, and I'm going to tell you it bothers me. Yeah. And I'm a straight shot. Like, I just call it how it is. So sometimes that comes off like seeming like bitchy. Yeah. But like it's cool, I get it. But I get along with everyone. Like, I'm just a really laid back person. Yeah.
Super confusing. It's like, one, why are you talking to somebody you just met about how
your conflict resolution tactics?
Right. Like, why are you being this intense? And then how can you say that people think that you're bitchy, but that you get along with people? It just doesn't make sense, because she's a dumb person.
I thought it was a bad opener on her part. I mean, John Paul Jones, little did we know, very much like Blake, that he would be someone of interest to the ladies here on the beach.
I knew.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Come on, JPJ.
I don't know how much of an actual suitor he is. He's more of like just a good time, fucking shaka bro.
I think he's gonna find somebody that really, really likes him. Not unlike Jordan and that Botox psycho from last season.
Well, she didn't really like him. She used him for fame and then broke his heart.
But they did seem like they had something very special. I think
we're talking about Jenna.
Jenna, yes, exactly.
And about Anyeka telling him this, I'm pretty sure she was catching him up on the whole her problems with Nicole from last season. Yeah. But still, her explanation was just so basic. Like, I get along with everyone, but if you fuck with me, I'm going to tell you how it is, all right? And that's why people don't like me. But otherwise, no, you fight with everyone.
Oh, great.
Because you're loud.
Yeah, you're confrontational. That's great. You don't take shit.
Your shtick is an air horn. Get the hint.
Right. Speaking,
that was so lame.
You know, we talked about JPJ being a hot ticket item on this island. Weirdly, Ugly Jim Halpert is? How is Ugly Jim Halpert a hot ticket item?
We're referring to Derek.
Yes, Demi and Derek kind of hit this thing off. I don't get why Demi's attracted to him.
I'm not either. She's super smart, as I mentioned earlier in this podcast. He fooled Taylor.
I think Derek is just like a chess master. Much like John Paul Jones, Demi is very popular amongst all of them,
but queen.
She's not necessarily like the suitor, the guy, the one all the guys want to date.
Right.
Derek always goes after this medium level girl that will keep him around for the entirety. He went with Taylor, boom, he's there all season. Well, now he's latching on to Demi because he knows she's like middle ground, and everybody's going after Hannah G and Tayshia.
I don't know that she's middle ground, but I get what you're saying. He doesn't go after the person that's like the obvious like hot
choice. Yeah.
Yes,
it's game theory. Back to John Nash.
He goes after the person that's like this substantial person that people don't think they can get, and then he goes after that person. It's a game theory.
It's mind over looks. All right, Nick, this will be fun to watch this season. All right, Derek picked a girl, hung out with her for 2 weeks, which is the taping time of a recording time of this show. It lasts 4 weeks. Let's see if Derek just gloms onto one single girl and stretches this. That would make him a sociopath.
I don't think that's going to happen because we've seen that Demi goes after girls and Derek is boring.
I saw the trailer, sir.
But that's when Derek has to swing to the next branch of the low-hanging fruit. And we've seen John Paul Jones get mad. We've seen a lot in the spoilers.
Demi's not low-hanging fruit.
She is, because guys don't actually want her to like bang her. Like, she's cool, she's popular, but like she's easy to give a rose to. And like,
I don't think so.
Now what's going to happen is Derek's going to move to Katie, and that will prove my theory. He's going to go after Katie, who you said is desperate, and they're going to be a couple, and he's going to prove
your theory because Demi's not low-hanging fruit.
She is.
So let's move on. We have a difference of opinion. Let's move on. Chris arrives for his sixth stint on the show. He says, he comes off great. He says stuff like 98% of the women I date are blonde, but maybe I'll have to switch to brunette. Fuck you. All right.
I have a crystal ball.
Okay.
We just watched the first episode. We haven't watched the second. I'm pretty sure he'll be sent home the second episode.
He goes home immediately.
You have a Chris Bukowski ball.
Mm-hmm.
So next up is the most pathetic person that this show has ever seen. That's Annaliese. Very, very, very sad. We'll get to her in a second. We've got some other people that come on. We've got Jane, we've got Clay, Tarzan, and Bibiana. Do we need to get to any of these entrances or?
Just that Bibiana got no play, and she was like the star of last season.
Bibiana is so hot. I know you guys don't agree with me. She is so smoking.
No. I've always found her attractive, just not to your level.
She's gorgeous. She's so hot. All right, Annaliese is up next. Let's get to her. She is already policing, and it's not policing like this moral authority thing over a nothing burger. It's not like Blake, who we'll get to, who's banging everybody who walks into his hotel room. It's Garrett, who just broke up with her friend. You are a goddamn hall monitor, and that is why no one likes you. You are unpleasant to be around. You're a square and a wet blanket. You suck, Annaliese.
And it's sad for her being here for a second time on the show. And she's already given like the side eye, like being really jealous and upset. Or maybe now she realizes her only purpose on this island is to be a hall monitor. I like that. I like that thought.
I swear to God, this is her third time on Paradise, I think.
I think it's only her second, but she definitely made her mark on Ari season being scared of cars and bumper cars.
And she was also on
cups.
And she was also on another. Oh yeah, because it was Ari, and then she went Bachelor in Paradise. Fair, but
she's a bubble girl. She
was also on that other reality TV show that where you can't even see the person, that aired for a minute after The Bachelor.
Oh God! Hosted by fucking Jesse Palmer or whoever the fuck that was.
Maybe, possibly. I don't know.
All right, let's get to
She's
Kaylin.
desperate. She sucks. I echo all your sentiments. Wet blanket. And this is her strategy because she knows no one likes her to get camera time.
She's gonna try to fall in love earnestly with somebody, and it's just gonna be a pathetic fucking euthanization. All right, let's get to Kaylin. She shows up, and Chris kind of pries this Blake thing out of her. He tried it with Blake too, and he dealt out his bullshit, kind of scooting vernacular. She hits the beach and he runs away.
All right, so I have kind of a take here.
Yeah. Hey, right. Can I ask you something?
Please.
Is it hot?
I think it's steamy.
Not a lot of confidence coming in. Don't want to see that, but let's see what unfolds here.
Okay, so when Kaylin walks down, She tells Chris Harrison that he played her, he hurt her. Basically, he's a scumbag. And then we cut to, as she walks down the stairs on the beach, we cut to Blake essentially having a panic attack and having to be alone.
Right.
Well, one would, like, as you're watching this go, he had no clue that she was coming here. Well, maybe Kaylin was lying about this, but in like 30 minutes later, she's talking to Wells, and she said that her and Blake had a conversation about both of them showing up on the island and that she was not to tell anybody that they had hooked up before being here. So when he put on this whole rouge of like, what? She's here? Oh my God, that makes him a sociopath because he acted out like of surprise. And that's the scary part. Not only is he a womanizer, but now he's like playing games with the camera. It's like, oh, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys catch that? Or is that hot? Is that sizzling?
No, it's obvious. It's not hot at all. And
Could have been said more concisely.
Yeah, it took way too long to say it. I'm no judge and jury on what's hot and what's cold. You guys know my track record with hot takes. While we're on the subject, Kaylin, he put out these texts that Kaylin had sent him, which were
he's spilling tea
all over the place, throwing tea against the walls. Essentially, I mean, it's going beyond a spill.
Are these oceans of...
Break it down. I was confused by this. What is this about?
Oceans of what?
Are the oceans of paradise filled not with salt water, but tea? I feel like
they're
this
filled
season...
with Earl Grey, the best tea. He puts out these texts via IG story. This world is so fucking pathetic. But they're texts that essentially lay out that Kaylin was thirsty for the pipe. She was coming over. He was trying to shoo her away. Not really. That's just hard to get game. He obviously wanted to have sex with her because he is a man and she is an attractive woman.
But he didn't sweet talk her, which were her words.
No.
She was begging for it.
Right.
And quite honestly, just reading it turned me on.
This is, but this is great. But this is not. This doesn't exonerate him from
being a womanizer,
from the
and a liar.
accusations that she made. Yes, she went over there to have sex with him, but there's still no evidence that he didn't treat her like a bag of dog shit the next morning. This is like if you were accused of murder between the hours of 9 and 10, and you were like, but Your Honor, I went to lunch at sushi at 3:15 that afternoon. It means nothing. It holds no water.
That is one of the saddest examples that you've ever used.
Bad example?
Yeah.
Bad example.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that would be more like...
Oh, you're going to continue?
Yeah, I want to hear you take a crack at it.
I thought you were going to make fun of me.
I'll pick which one's better.
No, you do an analogy.
What's
You're
your
obviously
analogy?
going to be better.
All right, I think what's going on with Kaylin, if I were to shit on Dylan's analogy, I would say that it's showing up to a fast food place, and then there's a bunch of food there, like Jack in the Box, and there's the 2 monster tacos, and then there's a cheeseburger or something like that.
Taking too long.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was a
He's painting
time.
a picture
All right,
with
go
words.
ahead. Paint a picture.
And I always love the bacon potato wedges.
Yep.
Okay. So for tonight, that's Kaylin. Okay. And I'm going to eat all that up. And then I'm going to poop it out.
This is not pertinent to anything. Like, I think I win just based on the grounds that he's eliminated immediately because that's nonsensical fucking bullshit.
Give me yours again.
No. We have to move on. So Chris sits them down and he sets the goal that they should all aspire to, that being the romance and happiness of Jade and Tanner or Carly and Evan, which is essentially just normal white plaster wall life.
Boring. By the way, I bet all these couples in between filming hate each other and fight, and life is so boring except when they are walking down the street or at the mall, and then some college student from USC walks up to them because they all live in LA now, like,
right.
Oh, can I take a picture? And that's the highlight of their day.
Right.
But everything else after that, the little babies they created sitting in the crib.
Welcome to normalcy.
Yeah.
Get a job. So
Just having sex missionary once every 2 weeks.
It's called married sex, dude.
I'm a fan of Missionary.
Same,
I like Missionary.
Same.
All right,
Bad
so
rap. Bad rap.
Bad rap. If you do it correctly, it's very, very enjoyable. So more girls than guys, but the guys have the roses. Time is of the essence, so get to it. The girls sit down, and Annaliese proceeds to once again be the fucking soaking wet blanket that she is.
Cock blocker.
She just tells everybody about Clay and how horrible he is, and everybody proceeds to tune her out and almost hit her.
Twice on my notes I have written, shut the fuck up,
Annaliese, shut the fuck up!
But I also want Kaylin to shut up because I have a bunch of meme
No,
wiles.
but Kaylin hasn't talked, which is frustrating in its own right. She doesn't talk in this meeting. Later on, she begins to frustratingly so tell individual people about this.
Several.
But in this sit down, she doesn't say like, "Oh, my turn, guys. Blake is such a jerk." She has good reason to say that. Annaliese's ground is quicksand that she should slip into and never come back from. Annaliese, go away. So Blake gets the first date card. Shocking. Who does he pick, boys?
He picks Tayshia. But, Hannah G was the favorite, and I never saw that coming. Where was that where she thought she'd be anointed as the queen to his king?
Well, I guess they showed up on the island together, and they're both like American Eagle, like 8s out of 10s.
Or some of that DMing.
Right.
During festivals.
Some of that, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I thought that she was going to get it, but alas, he picks Tayshia. Now, before he picks Tayshia, Dylan is kind of in fits because he likes Hannah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just kind of geeking out. I'm like cheesing right now. I'm just so nervous.
We'll get to that, but that's spot on.
Tight impression.
Wells gives him some great advice. He says, go tell Hannah that you really, really like her so that when she goes on this date, you're a neggy worm planted in her brain and you're on the back of her, mind. But wonderful advice from Wells. It's all moot because he does not pick her, but Wells, way to steer a brother the right way.
Well, that's how it worked out for him. That's how he's dating that actor girl.
I don't.
Mm-hmm. But also, you say it's good advice, but I think it just happened to be good advice because the reason Wells is there is because he's not a producer. It's like he's on their side, but yet he's egging them on to do shit stirring stuff because he also told Kaylin, "Oh no, you got to go tell everybody that Blake fucked you. You got to go tell everybody that." That's all he's there to do, and it just happened to be the right advice for Dylan.
I think it's the right advice for Kaylin too. Enough of this. So we'll get to that, but let's get to the night date first.
Night date.
They go to a place with an inconvenient amount of string lights.
She was fascinated by that.
Yeah, looks like
I never knew you could hang Christmas lights from a fucking ceiling, and that would get a girl wet.
It looks like
Oh, I'm sorry.
It looks like an elegant Tough Mudder.
I got a little wet, and I don't know where it came from. I thought it was a very elegant setting.
Well, that's just your hygiene. There's just a lot of moisture down there. All right, so he is astoundingly good at bullshitting. You're looking for a partner to kind of hold hands, stride and stride to accomplish your dreams together with. It's all fucking horse shit.
I missed that part, but definitely I caught this part, and I also have a clip that I'll compound this, his pile of bullshit that he lays on this. He talks about being rejected, but what really matters is when you finally are picked by the right one. She fell in love with him with that. And I was thinking, he said this so well. I bet he said it to Kaylin. I bet he said it to Hannah G. I bet he said it to Lipstick Eater. I bet he said it to 3 girls in Texas at a bar. I bet he said it in an appearance in Florida.
He probably has said it to random, dates that he's got on Instagram. To the point where, normal people who are more intelligent than him are like, why are you talking to me about this? I'm just trying to have sex with a pseudo-famous person. Can you stop talking? Because I'm getting less and less attracted to you as the night goes on. But we should play this clip so we can dissect it.
Were you, kind of surprised when I asked you on the date?
Was I surprised? Yeah.
I feel like the look on your face,
I was
really
shocked. Me?
You literally did that face. I was like,
Are you sure?
I think you were actually, I saw your hand like this, and you were like...
No.
Yes, you did.
It was that
we'll
obvious.
watch it back. Yeah.
Oh.
This is so gross. It's this cockiness, and it's this like, aren't you shocked that you're worthy? But it's kind of like cloaked in this nice guy bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just checking on you to make sure you're okay. But meanwhile, what I'm doing is I'm grafting on you that I'm better than you.
Right.
And I am a king, and I chose you to come hang with me.
It's so right.
Isn't that nice? And then she just laughs it off because I love Tayshia. She's actually my favorite.
Soft target.
But she's buying all this and into it. I don't like this because this is kind of wielding power over you. And again, this is a man that has not had much power in his life. So very much like Caesar, and a lot of dictators will abuse this power, as we've heard he has and may continue to do.
Well, Caesar wasn't really a dictator. He was just a revolutionary, okay? Cross the Rubicon for a reason.
Was Deanie Baby a revolutionary? Because
no, but
Blake reminds me of Deanie Baby, and then we got to cut the clips of that asshole with a mustache.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going to be here. That's right.
With mustache.
He looks like Ricky Fowler, but with no money and no talent.
Hold on. One last point.
Yeah.
I never saw this coming with Blake. I saw him as a damaged soul, a total like wimp bag, very much like I saw Deanie Baby. But then both these guys kind of come out in the same way, which is like, ooh, look at us now having some fun. You thought we were weak and sensitive? No, now we're going to fuck you. And we're going to fuck your friends.
Okay.
Where's your mom? I'll fuck her too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I get bored. Maybe I'll get freaky. Maybe I'll fuck your father.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm on
Where's
The Bachelor.
your grandma? Where's your grandma? Oh, she's in hospice? Oh, she's on her last
Is she
couple
on, is she on Apple Street? Maybe I'll make my way over there.
Oh, man.
I'll fuck her too.
Okay, I was gonna say what.
Does she have a leg? Because I'm into that now.
All right, too much. So, Caitlin,
I love that line from Blake though. Like, Tayshia, do you have any fucking clue how lucky you are right now to be sitting here?
so
with me?
Can I do a meanwhile?
Yes, please. We do
All right.
need a meanwhile.
While this date is going well with Tayshia and Blake, meanwhile, Kaylin talks about Blake and he wants to protect his image. He's so she goes on this whole like, this is where it starts, where she starts. Anybody who will listen to her ass talk about what a piece of shit this guy is, he's not going to make his way out of this goddamn island looking good. I can tell you that right now.
No, I think he will be knocked down a few pegs after this. So I've got a note about Papa Tayshia. We covered that. He must be not happy seeing this. And then let's get to Derek and Demi really quickly. I just don't get it because to me, he's unattractive. He's got a weird gum to teeth ratio. He's got a fucking basic ass haircut. I mean, he's got that swoop in the front like a goddamn 7th grader in 2015. And, you know, I'm just so blown away that she is jumping in so hot and heavy with this guy immediately.
I can't believe they brought him back. He should be phased out. My wife, who I watched the first episode with, she would definitely have sex with Tyler Chill behind my back. I know.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
And if you found out about it, would you be mad?
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Oh, I wouldn't.
But you know what she said about Derek? She said, why is this guy on the show? He's so gross and old.
Right.
She was disgusted by this.
Yeah.
Yet he's fooling Demi. Oh, can we get to them in the hot tub?
We're there, Patrick.
Oh, okay. That little thing is so fun.
Okay.
This was so fucking hot.
Alrighty.
Her making out skills, she turns me on. She wraps her. I wish I was single. I don't want my wife to die. But if she got on a plane to visit her family and
okay, so we've got to get to Dylan chatting with Hannah next.
I agree. I would just.
You want my wife to die too?
Okay,
oh no!
All right,
I would
so
just
Dylan chats with Hannah next. She kind of is complicit in. She just agrees to settle because the guy that she wants is on a date. They have this great conversation about who's more awkward, and then they kiss. And the thing that I got from this is that she's not into him at all.
But she also really needed to get Blake back, so she's going to give Dylan the ride of his life.
Well, what she's doing is securing her rose, which is a smart play. If Blake is out on a fucking date, I mean...
He's a life raft, like you said.
Yeah, he's chum.
Oh, this is so sad. I hadn't even thought of that. I look at me. I'm still like, I guess I'm
Patrick, this
just
is a reptilian
sucker.
game. This is a reptilian game. There is no love on this island ever.
Let me ask you this about Dylan, though.
Yeah.
Is his heart in the right place? Is he really into her?
Well, I think that he's lying to himself, but I do think that he's a genuine guy. But we've got to get to the next day. So we have...
Next morning.
Yes, sure.
I think him going after Hannah G, he says she's out of his league. Oh, I'm going to go after this unattainable girl so I'm alone because I'm gay.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. We needed to go back for that.
The theory
The
theory is right. It wasn't well said, but the point is he's gay.
Okay, so next day, we've got a clip here. You know, they're talking about Blake being the hot commodity on the island, and I'm just so frustrated with this. But, Pat, go ahead, hit us with a clip.
This is Tayshia.
Day 2 of Paradise, and I went on a date with Blake last night, and it was amazing. He is a sought-after guy, and I feel like half the girls really want to date him and pursue him, so I'm excited.
Tayshia, don't get wrapped up in this fucking bullshit. High school is such a perfect microcosm of what's going on. It's so pathetic. It's a bunch of grown adults who have no career paths whatsoever, who are getting boiled back down to their prime in many cases. But they're just, this is mouth-breathing intelligence levels trying to find connections in the sand. It's truly wonderful, and it's so fucking pathetic.
And that being said, if the three of us got invited to be there for 2 weeks, we would go, right?
No, I wouldn't, because I'm ashamed of my body, and I have back hairs sprouting out of my shoulder blade, so I wouldn't go, actually.
Well, I'm married. I'd go.
I'd go after that low-hanging fruit, Jane.
Why talk shit about Dylan?
I like sriracha.
I do. I put sriracha on my eggs.
Yeah, sriracha's good. Not that much.
You were talking about popular kids in high school. It's perfect analogy for this. You used to hear all these sad stories about these people who talk about their glory days in high school, and now they're
always sad.
They're losers in their hometown. But now you can be professionally popular, and that's what these people are. They have graduated from high school, being in the exact same roles. That's the title of the episode: professionally popular.
Yeah, it's just this fleeting fucking empty adoration that these people are chasing until the dragon will eventually just flame out.
Wait. So your point is they can show up to their 40th high school reunion and they will still be the most popular people because they were on TV.
They're in a cyclical phase of popularity.
Now I'm saying now they're on TV, just personifying the same roles they had in high school, but they're getting paid for it now. They're recreating that community and that hierarchy based on nothing except that Blake looks good throwing a football and Hannah doesn't have any pimples.
Doesn't look good throwing a football. Like, pull your fucking shorts up and don't buy basketball shorts that go past your knee. You look like trash.
Shorts notwithstanding, his form was looking good.
Fine, I can throw a football way farther than him.
Bet not.
Fuck you.
I'm not saying you don't have an arm. He's.
Was he a quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Not in college, but
Well, I bet I can get my laces through a soccer ball way better than him.
Definitely. 100%.
I could probably bench more too. All right, let's get to Christina arriving, the most beautiful, wonderful fucking soul. She's...
Not to me. Not anymore.
Why?
Why are you coming back here? You were a cute
Patrick.
spirit. Deanie Baby fucked you over. You were wonderful on your season.
You have to understand that they have to come back to the trough where the bread is buttered. You have to do it.
Now she lives in California now. You had a wonderful business where you were. Isn't she a chiropractor or
I don't know.
like someone who takes care of teeth or something? I don't know.
Patrick.
Anyway, she had a real job. The fact that she's out here chasing fame and showing up on this island, it's sad. I don't like this. I love Lipstick
It's the Ruby
Eater.
in the Cave of Wonders, man. I mean, it's tough to turn down. It's a siren song. I mean, even somebody as strong as Christina is going to have a tough time saying no to this.
It goes back. She came from nothing. It goes back to what we just talked about. You don't give up being the popular homecoming queen. She's very high in this hierarchy.
Yeah.
When she shows up, people kind of bow down to her. They know what's up.
Yeah.
Christina's here. She's not going to... What does she have to go back to? Cleaning teeth, evidently?
Well, create a family.
Chiropractic?
He said...
I don't know.
After chiropractor, he
Jesus,
said...
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I just thought that you'd grossly mischaracterized the profession. All right, so she is here, and she's not going to play bitches. If she sees Blake, she's going to have a chat with him. And this is a really, like, pathetic moment. I don't know how the editing works here, but he takes this, like, big, belabored sigh when he sees her. He's like, oh.
That could have been stock footage of when Kaylin showed up and he thought he was going to pretend.
It totally could have. So, anyways, let's get to him talking about her. Again, it's this kind of marble-mouthed, stepping over and not really addressing the thing. He's like, yeah, we dated. I'm really excited to see her. Really excited to see her. No, you're not. You're concerned about this. You know that you're going to be made to look like a fool and an asshole on national television, and you're not grappling with it well. You are a piece of fucking shit. You have a square fucking head. So finally, Christina picks Blake, and they go on a date. We'll find out in the next episode how much she's going to lay into him. But Kaylin is in shambles. And I just want to say, Kaylin, buck up or shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Like, figure it the fuck out. Stop bitching and make the most of what Bachelor Nation calls paradise, girl. Spread your fucking wings and have fun here. You're a catch. You're a catch.
Have fun. Stop it. Like, no one likes this negativity. I got to sit here. By the way, imagine sitting on a table. You're having a fucking drink. And then she's sitting next to you. You know you're not going to have sex with her because she's talking about this other guy. You're bored out of your goddamn fucking mind. And you're like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck do I get out of this? She's just complaining about this guy.
She's closing her off to every opportunity on this island by just being obsessed with what Blake did to her. Just move on. But Kaylin's fucking nuts. I mean, she's got a chemical imbalance in her brain. Because of what?
The pageant industry.
Violent industry. Just churning through the psyche and the spirit of young girls like they're nothing. That's what's damaged her so.
And to what end?
To what end?
To what end?
We're going to get out of here, go watch the second two.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. It's going to be fun. But we'll see you guys later on in the week. That has been our recap of the first episode of BIP. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Please leave us 5 stars if you can. Also, join us on Facebook. The Facebook is so lively right now. We love you guys chiming in with your thoughts, getting in fights with people, kicking people out of the Facebook group. That's really, really that's the mark of a successful Facebook group, when somebody leaves.
And then comes back.
Our Facebook group is arguably more dramatic than Bachelor in Paradise.
The tea is spilling in both.
So join us there, facebook.com/Another Bachelor Podcast, and follow us on all the social medias, Dylan Pete Wren, Real Nick Davis, and Patrick, whatever.
Small errors and omissions.
Oh, no.
The group you talked about
yes,
is actually facebook.com/group/Another Bachelor Podcast, not facebook.com/Another Bachelor Podcast, which is the URL to our Facebook page, which you should like.
Okay,
I'm leaving.
Now that that's all out of the way, we'll see you guys next week. Not next week, later in the week for Bachelor in Paradise episode 2. Goodbye.